Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. It's not over. Well, I technically mean a couple things by that. The market's tanking right now, at least as of the time that I'm recording this. In fact, mere minutes ago, Bitcoin was in the 79,000s and XRP was as low as $2.03. So by the time I get this published and you're listening to this, I don't know what the market's doing. Hopefully it's rebounded by then. There's a chance that it's going a little bit lower from here. Either way, it's not over in the positive sense, because this is what bottoms are made of. And if history is to rhyme with itself, as I certainly anticipate it will, the best is still yet ahead. And let me give you a bunch of reasons why. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, as I record this video, it is 9:26 p.m. Central Time, Thursday, February 27th, 2025. Right now, XRP is $2.04. Bitcoin is 81,100 bucks. But take a look at how things started falling off a cliff. That's the XRP 24-hour chart. Here's the Bitcoin chart. It looks like the same damn thing. Look as I go back and forth between these two tabs, the XRP and the Bitcoin chart. It's the same damn thing. The market's just moving in tandem. So nothing is wrong with XRP. If you're wondering that, just chill out. This is very normal stuff for crypto. It's just volatile AF. That's all it is. In fact, let me share you something that I just got a kick out of. The timing of this is just too perfect. All right, so here's a post from on-chain analytics firm Santiment. This is from tonight at 7:20 p.m. Here's what they wrote. Traders are showing a very high level of confidence that this dip is the one to buy, according to the spike in discussions across X, Reddit, Telegram, 4chan, Bitcoin Talk, and Farcaster. Ideally, we are waiting for this crowd enthusiasm to die down as a signal that enough pain has hit retail traders to justify a bounce. Markets move in the opposite direction of the crowd's expectations, so look for declining optimism and shrinking levels of buy the dip calls as a bullish signal. Okay, so that's on-chain analytics firm Santiment telling their followers that hey, typically when we see this level of optimism, buy the dip, they're still feeling positive. That means that things could still get worse. And the timing of this, I absolutely love. So again, that was at 7:20 p.m. Let's pull up the Bitcoin chart here. Look at this. Go to 7:20 p.m. There you are. Bitcoin at 84,181, and right after that, it just falls off a cliff. It falls off a cliff and bottomed out at 79,844 bucks. Anyway, as of the time that I'm watching this, and then it's come up a hair since then. Isn't that... I just get a kick out of that. That's so fun. And it is true, though. Like, they've shared a ton of posts like this over the years. And it typically is the case that if there's that type of sentiment, be careful, because the crowd just gets wrong-footed all the time. Consistently. It's very funny to me. Which is why the best strategy when it comes to investing in crypto is to just not behave like them. Which is why, for me, here's what I do. I buy stuff, and then I do nothing. Year after year after year after year. I just hold the same stuff, well, you know, I can add positions too, of course, but I just hold and hold and hold. And once you know it, now I've been here over 7 years, and the amount of money that I put in is way less than what it's worth now. It has gone up substantially. Duh. This is not rocket science. A regular person like me can do it, and so can all of you. But the typical lemming retail speculator will never learn. So like on the whole, humans won't learn. Now, any of you on an individual level can learn this. Same for me, like on an individual level, people of course can, but as a crowd, nope, not ever, not ever. Here's what Charting Guy had to say about this. This is at 8:32 p.m. So where was the price of Bitcoin then? 8:32. So yeah, it was approaching the bottom. Bitcoin is still around $81,000, and XRP was at yes, about $2, $2.07, $2.05, somewhere around there. Anyway, so Charting Guy wrote, yes, these are my absolute worst case scenarios and unlikely in my opinion. I'm thinking bottom sooner rather than later. Bitcoin below $80,000 is a bear trap. XRP below $2 is a bear trap. That's if they even happen. Obviously, just my opinion. Okay, so he's acknowledging you could, and this is before that happened. Now, mind you, XRP actually still hasn't gone below $2, at least as of the time I'm recording this video. Bitcoin did. So he's just warning, these are possible things, but if they happen, that's a bear trap. which means that anybody who is anybody who's thinking that it's going to get worse from that point, I mean, just good. I mean, not that it can't literally get worse to some degree, but typically when you see that degree of panic selling, there's a reversal. So we'll see where the bottom is. There's already been all sorts of speculation over the last few days from everybody that's in the space that talks about this type of stuff as to whether or not the bottom's in. Most of what I've seen from the analysts that I follow is not tremendous conviction that on any specific day that, yep, that was it, for sure that's the bottom. But I have seen a lot of, okay, either that's the bottom or we're very close. Those types of comments, which makes sense because you can't necessarily pinpoint exactly what the moment's going to be, but you know what bottoms roughly look like. And so we're getting close regardless. Here's a post from chart analyst Tony Severino. This was at 8:58 p.m., so about a half hour ago. And here he said, this is the best chance for a bottom and bounce. Called this while we were at still at $105,000. And he's talking about Bitcoin, of course. This is now partially filled. So he seems to think that as we've gotten closer to this level, this is pretty close to the bottom, possibly at least, and might be seen about. So who knows? Maybe by the time you guys are watching this, there has been some sort of nice bounce and we're a little bit higher at least. Here's what chart analyst Josh Rager had to say about this. He posted this 40 minutes ago, roughly at 8:48 p.m. Central Time. It's a Bitcoin USD chart on your screen, and he said Bitcoin is at a 27% pullback. Pretty normal in prior cycles, even during bull markets, for Bitcoin to drop 30% to 40%. Wouldn't be abnormal to drop to mid to low 70,000s. In my opinion, we see everything at higher prices in a month from now, regardless. And to be clear, he's not saying that we will get into the low $70,000. He's just saying, from a historical perspective, that wouldn't be weird, and that's true. It actually, in terms of percentages, there's historic precedent for all of this. But just note that he's one of the analysts. He's been around for years and years and years and years. The analysts that have been here for a while, they're not sweating bullets over this. It's like, yeah, it's normal, ho-hum, yeah, whatever. We're still going to go up higher. And that is what I keep seeing. Like, even today, after all of this, not one of the analysts that I follows has flipped bearish and said, yep, that was it. That was the top. So let's just say it would be highly improbable that that were the case, that it's actually over. Here's a post from Julian Biddle. And he is the head of macro research at GMI, that's Global Macro Investor. That's Raoul Paul's firm. And here you can see the black line on your screen. That's the price of Bitcoin. And then the pink line is the Bitcoin 14-day RSI, Relative Strength Index. And this lighter pink color, these bars, these vertical bars here, that indicates on this chart, when Bitcoin is very oversold by looking at the metric, the Relative Strength Index. And so they're noting here, and this was from this morning, we're in oversold territory. Now, once you're in oversold territory, it doesn't mean that you can't become even more oversold. You can become oversold-er. You absolutely can. On the flip side, of course, when you're overbought, you can become overbought-er. Yes, absolutely you can. But look what happens here when you get to these moments. Going back just the last several years. What happens after that? So they do mark bottoms, and then you can see historically, so there's been some sideways price action, and you do end up moving to the upside here. So we'll see what happens here, but, there's a good chance that anywhere around this time period, roughly speaking, is probably roughly the bottom. Probably not the worst time to buy. And I'm not telling you to buy. I don't care what you guys do. I don't know what's best for you either. I'm just telling you, that's my thoughts on this. Here's a post from chart analyst Tech Dev. He said, altcoins, bigger cap equals slower move. Time has confused many. And so he's got this altcoin oscillator here at the bottom, comparing to how it looked last cycle. And he's just noting this is, roughly speaking, the moment. I mean, this is what you're supposed to glean from the chart anyway. That this moment is very similar to what we had back in 2021. And you can see what was happening with price action here. This is the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. So it's all the altcoins here. And so you can see once you hit that point, you're rocketed. And so he's basically saying we're there. So whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, so on and so forth, we're about there. And this is, again, what I keep seeing from all the analysts that I follow. The best is yet ahead. Now, after this, it really will be over, though. For this, not forever, but but for this cycle, and we will be entering bear territory after this. So we'll be talking about that when we get closer, but I'm not seeing chart analysts highlighting a bunch of top indicators for this cycle. Oh, this is interesting, too, so I thought I'd share it with you. This is from Cointelegraph. Just in, Bitfinex whale Spoofy bought 4,000 Bitcoin during yesterday's dip. In 2022, after the Luna and FTX crashes, he accumulated 70,000 Bitcoin at $40,000 to $16,000 and later sold between $40,000 to $70,000. Now, folks, read that again. It's on your screen. So accumulated between $40,000 down to $16,000 and later sold between $40,000 and $70,000. See, the whales, as I keep insisting, they behave differently than the typical lemming retail speculators. That's why it's fun to highlight this, as people are freaking out. What do the whales do? Anyway, then in 2024, he acquired 24,000 Bitcoin, selling from $70,000 to $108,000. Now, with his new buy being a 1/6 of his 2024 position, all eyes are on his next move. So again, he's not worried. I mean, and you can't literally hit the bottom. He just this whale clearly gets it. He understands, and his sentiment is opposite of the typical lemming retail speculator out there. And so, even though market got a little bit lower, like it's been happening over the last hour in particular, the market got lower, but he's in the range and he doesn't care. That's the point. This is somebody with diamond hands, not lettuce hands. That's for damn sure. Here's a post from chart analyst Rect Capital. It said, Bitcoin is in its first price discovery correction. Here's a look at historical first price discovery corrections. And folks, this goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. This is historically normal. So in 2013, there was a 75% pullback in 13 weeks. In 2017, it was a 34% drop in 3 weeks. In 2021, it was a 31% drop in 4 weeks. Now in 2025, down 25% as of this morning, mind you. So it's gone a little bit lower, obviously. 25% in 11 weeks thus far. Depth-wise, this current negative 25% price discovery correction has been shallower by standards of history, though still quite close to the 30% mark. Duration-wise, however, this 11-week pullback has been more in line with 2013 duration. So the point is, whatever you're feeling, even if you're feeling beat down and scared because of this price action, well, we're within historical norms, is the point. That's a key takeaway here. That's why I wanted to share this with you. It doesn't, in my opinion, it just doesn't make sense to be scared here. It just doesn't, and I'm not. And plus, again, what's the worst that's going to happen? We're wrong. All these analysts are wrong, and we actually do enter a bear market, and then the market, we have to wait a few years for it to come back. Ooh, so sad, so scary. Ooh, no, I'm not worried about that, okay? I'm going to keep making new money, and then I'll invest new money, and we go through the depths of the bear market then. Now, that would be disappointing because I'd rather have the euphoric blow-off top, but I do believe that's coming. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache, hashtag altcoins. In case you're wondering why altcoins react amazingly well against Bitcoin, ETH BTC is at the bottom of a descending broadening wedge. We're also seeing a monster weekly bullish divergence, and ETH BTC has also touched a 4-year downtrend line. Rotation alt season next. Okay, so the reason I want to highlight this is because it goes back to what I was saying throughout 2024 with XRP when it was priced so poorly against Bitcoin. Markets find bottoms, and then XRP sure as hell found a bottom, and it rocketed and became one of the best performers in the entire crypto asset class yet again, which you hadn't seen in 7 years. But here we are, and that's real life, and you love to see it. Well, here you have a similar concept with ETH BTC, not that it's going to perform to that degree, but markets find bottoms. Look at how poorly ETH is priced against Bitcoin, and everybody's saying the same crap they were about XRP throughout 2024. It's the end of the world. It's never going to bounce. It's such a poor performer. Okay, yeah, until it's not. And then it's going to pop here. And that's great because that has been a signal for the beginning of alt season. And it's at hand. I still firmly believe that is what is most probable. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. XRP network activity has declined by 50%, dropping from 202,250 active addresses in December to just 101,169 today. Okay. The reason I wanted to highlight this is just to note that this is not scary or abnormal. like if you're talking about the beginning of December in particular, so like December 2nd, mind you, that was a local high in price for XRP. XRP hit $2.90 that day. And that was the local high until finally a month and a half later, January 16th, XRP did finally hit a new all-time high. But as of December 2nd, there was just a frenzy. So the fact that it went down after that crazy frenzy after the election, that's not abnormal and weird. And the fact that XRP in recent weeks has been mostly consolidating. Yeah, there's been some downward price action recently, obviously. But the fact that it's been doing that and you've been seeing a bit of decreased volatility, like that, all that just goes hand in hand. So I just wanted to point out nothing wrong with his poster. He's just stating facts, but I wanted to add some thoughts and context to this because this isn't some sort of terrible negative thing as I think some people may perhaps have taken it. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Michael. He said, XRP, there is still hope for new highs. If it holds this purple support line, a break of $2.60 is needed to activate a move up to new all-time high. Expecting more chop this week before a decisive move in March. And I actually shared this post in a video yesterday, and I just want to point out, and his stance hasn't changed in a day, obviously. He's been an XRP bull for a long time. We are still in the chop. Yeah, it went a little bit lower today. Okay. This is not a time to be fearful. He still firmly believes that the best is yet ahead and that we will be entering price discovery. So, again, as it pertains to XRP, it's not over. It's not over. And you can take that a couple different ways. Again, maybe the market does keep going down. So in the short term, that scary part's not over. But also, the more fun part that's not over is XRP entering price discovery. We ain't even gotten there yet. The XRP run, it's not over. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.